a bit of circular guitars action going on here at the moment. I've actually listed for sale 16 guitars. Sold 12 of them already. And I'm seriously having second thoughts about a couple of those. Let's look at some more now that I'm uncertain about. I don't normally name my guitars, but this one is called Stinky. I mean, I'll be honest, I bought this because of the case. I like these so much that I bought another. This was the first vintage guitar that I bought, actually. Oh, well, here's the question now. Will I sell it? Hello, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Guitaristas. So this is week 3 of the collection, where we're going through my entire guitar collection as of January 2024. And I'm trying to decide which ones to sell, because I'm having a cull. Start of the new year, bit of a clear out, bit of a reset. Get rid of a bunch of guitars, not just a couple, a whole bunch of guitars that have been gathering dust, sending them on to new homes where they'll hopefully get played properly, and frequently, hopefully. Because I've just kind of decided I don't want to see these things gathering dust when they could be enjoyed. And of course, the funds will allow me to buy new guitars, which is one of the things I particularly enjoy doing, and obviously reviewing them for you. So yeah, a bit of circular guitars action going on here at the moment. This is week 3. So far, if you've watched parts 1 and 2, I've actually listed for sale 16 guitars. I can hardly believe it. When I added it up, I thought, really? Yeah, I've listed 16, and wait for it, I've only bloody sold 12 of them. I've sold 12 of them already. It's not even 2 weeks, because I'm recording this bit on Wednesday. So it's only, like 12 days since the first show dropped and the first lot of listings went up on Reverb, on my shop. The link to my Reverb shop, incidentally, is in the description box, and I'll also pin it at the top of the comments. So you can see what's left for sale. There's 4 guitars still listed as of now when I'm recording this, but obviously that changes. So yeah, I've sold 12 of the ones. I probably said it. You'll see what happens in a minute. We're going to go have a look at another 15 guitars now. Another 15 in this episode, and I'm going to talk about them a little bit. You know, if there's a story, we'll hear about it. But we'll have a quick look, listen to a lot of them as well, and I'll let you know if currently I'm thinking I'm going to sell those or not. So there'll be more listed at the end of this episode. So check it out, and obviously if they're still for sale, they'll be there. I've also had people reaching out for guitars that I've said I wasn't going to sell and made me an offer, and I've sold one, or at least one, maybe 2. So again, if I'm sort of like about something and you're not sure, message me on Reverb, and we'll see. Because I changed my mind. It's just getting harder. It's really getting hard now. Well, obviously I've sold 12. So, and I think I probably organised this bunch of films, so that the ones I was certain about, I sort of put towards the beginning of the series, and I think you'll see there are a fewer that I'm sure about at the end of this episode. One of the I'll just quickly mention now. Ones that I'm having second thoughts about. I'll talk more about that at the end, just quickly now, because we should get on with it really, shouldn't we? This one here, the 78 Telecaster Custom, the 1978, actual 1978 gift from the Mrs. Telecaster Custom. Last week I said, oh, you know, I might, oh, no, I changed my mind. I'm absolutely not selling this. I had so many comments from you lot saying, don't sell that. So, and you know, it sort of tugged at the old heartstrings, and I thought, no, I can't sell it. And it was such a relief. This whole thing's difficult, but it was such a relief deciding that I definitely wasn't going to sell it. So thank you for all your input. Let's look at some more now that I'm uncertain about, and let me know what you think. It's going to be, a while, so don't forget the timestamps are in the description box, and you'll need a drink and some nibbles to get through this with me. So go and sort that out, come back and join me, and let's get stuck in, see what's going on today. Let's crack on with definitely one of my favourites, the SG Special. The SG Special is, without question, one of my favourite designs of guitar. This is a 61 reissue from the Custom Shop Art and Historic, as they were back in 2007. I bought this used from the Guitar Amp and Keyboard Centre in Brighton quite a few years ago, actually. I'd been lusting after an SG Special. It's that old Pete Townsend thing, isn't it? I'd really been lusting after one of these, and I saw this for sale on the GAC website. Fairly good price at the time, so I bought it. And what's notable about this guitar, I don't normally name my guitars, but this one is called Stinky, because when it arrived, it had clearly been owned by a heavy smoker, and it reeked of fags. Cigarettes, for you guys in the US of A, that is. So yeah, and it doesn't now, but that was quite a few years ago. It took a while for that stink to subside. The guitar, however, was everything I expected it to be, and this is another guitar that I used with my band on stage and in rehearsals. And this was a guitar that this actually could keep up with my drummer at the time. He loved this guitar because it was loud and he could hear it. And it's something about this particular set of P90s. It's like a special on steroids, and I don't know if it's just the pickups or a combination of the things, but it's a beautiful guitar. Look at that beautiful rosewood fingerboard. It's nicely used. It's got a little bit of buckle rash on the back, which I put on there. I love that. I love having a guitar that's been used by me, and I can justify, therefore, keeping it. I started out this little journey of selling a few that we're doing now, thinking this will go because it's a high value guitar. And I have said, if you can get enough money from a guitar to buy a motorbike, then it's got to be going. But I'm keeping this. I've decided. I took it home and had a play, and I thought, oh God, no, I can't think about selling this. It is it's almost my ideal guitar. It's one of my ideal guitars, so it's staying. And here we have another one of my favourites. It's another Eastman. It's the SB55 DC double cut, clearly based on the Les Paul double cut. It's almost It's almost an identical copy of this, isn't it? Shape-wise, I think. I've never had, oh, hang on, I lie. I was going to say I've never had a Les Paul double cut, but I have. I've had a special, which is the 2 pickup one, a custom shop one, which was really nice, I must say. That was an aged and relict one. But I traded that ages ago. I think I prefer this though. This is lighter. I remember that not being especially light, and these Eastmans are very light. This is ridiculous. And it feels like a vintage guitar. And it sounds brilliant, and it's got an ebony board, and I think I've got this in drop D at the moment. I've been learning some Keith. Brilliant guitar, this. Again, Lola, P90, Faber, bridge, Faber, aged tuners, and this is wonderful antique varnish finish that gives it an aged look out of the box, and then it does mark very easily with your own fingernail scratches or whatever. So it's not for everyone, but this guitar is definitely for me, and it ain't going anywhere. Another SG special, Pelham Blue. What a fantastic guitar. And this is the Epiphone. The Epiphone inspired by Gibson SG special. You've seen it on the back wall. I've said many times, one of my favourite, no, it's my favourite affordable guitar, without a shadow of a doubt, because it's an SG, because it was so affordable when I bought it, because it sounds great, and because it's great colour as well. But this, you know, honestly sounded better than the Gibson SG special that I had for a short while, the ebony one that I sold, because I thought, well, this actually does sound better. The simple reason for that, or one of the reasons for that, is that the pickup spacing on this is correct, whereas on the current Gibson SG specials, it's not. It's like really close to the tail bridge, which gives it a real brittle sound. Whereas this, as you can see, there's a little bit of room there, so it's just not too, you know, not too piercing. And of course, this has got a really good CTS wiring because it's inspired by Gibson. Epiphone P90 Pro pickups, same as Gibson P90s. Yeah, it's this one is staying. And this is my pride and joy, I'll be honest. It's an original 1962 Les Paul Jr., Les Paul SG Jr., but Les Paul, as you can see on the headstock, says Les Paul on the headstock, because they called them Les Pauls until 1963, when they changed a couple of things. This is original totally, as you can see. Oh, look, yeah, it's quite faded. See the difference between the front and the back? I think that shows up quite clearly, isn't it? Quite faded. Lots of lacquer checking all over it. This is my number one guitar. Was my number one guitar when I was playing in the band. I used this live all the time. Not that we played live that much, but we rehearsed a lot. We had half a dozen gigs or so, and lots of rehearsals. And it's just great. I love it. I'm not selling it, okay? You can shut up now. I'm not selling it. I'm hanging on to this one, okay? So yeah, there you go. And this, so incidentally, this is the original tail bridge. A few people have sort of queried it, go, oh no, it should be a lightning bolt. It shouldn't, okay? Lightning bar was introduced probably in 62, 63. So some people will say, oh, we had a 62 and it had a lightning bar on it. Yeah, so at some point at that year, it was changed. And the difference is not only that this is what you'd say is non-compensated, it's also at this jaunty angle. The lightning bar ones, because the actual bridge itself was compensated, they straightened it up. So there's two differences, okay, between the lightning bar and the non-lightning bar. The non-lightning bar, boom, jaunty angle, lightning bar, not, non-jaunty angle. So you can't just whack a lightning bar on this and expect it to compensate because it's in a different position. Personally, I've not felt the desire or need to, because this intonates perfectly as it is. You can see it's, you know, it's kind of hanging off the back there a little bit, but does the job, and I'd rather just leave it alone if it's working. I love old guitars. I really do. And you know, the thing is, these were affordable enough when I bought this to actually get it and use it. I mean, you can still get one of these original in this sort of condition anyway for less than you'd pay for most Gibson custom shop guitars. So what's that all? And now, you know, don't be fooled by what they say that these don't play as well. They do. They sound better. This is the same mahogany that they made 59 bursts out of, isn't it? Same rosewood. It's the same stuff. It's the same pickups. It's just about, I can't do my sums, but it's a lot less than a 59 burst. I do hope that in a couple of years this will start going up and be worth tens of thousands of pounds. I'll sell it then, all right? So stick around and we'll see what happens. So this is one of my Eastmans. This is the SB55SC, they call this, for single cut. As you can probably tell, it's based on the old Les Paul Junior. Now, I've had several Gibson Les Paul Juniors. I've had a couple of tributes, Junior style tributes. I've had a custom shop TV Junior, which was white and very expensive. And I've had, do you remember Old Scratch? Sold Old Scratch, the Ebony Les Paul Junior Gibson earlier last year. The only other one I've got apart from this now is the Epiphone Billy Joe Armstrong. And the reason I've kept this over any of those Gibsons is it's way, way better. That's all you can say. This guitar, it's got the Eastman antique varnish finish on it, which is, it just feels good. So this feels like a 1955 Les Paul Junior. You know, everything about it, the neck, the feel, the weight, it's really light. Whereas the Gibson Les Paul Juniors tend to not be that light for some reason. And this has obviously got, as have all Eastmans or all the ones that I've got, premium parts. This has got a Lola low wind P90 Lola, and it's got a Faber TP59, I think they call that, something like that. You know, wrap bridge, and I think the Faber tuners, aged, beautiful guitar, sounds immense, and gets played. I'm keeping it. Here's a guitar that's been in the rack back there ever since I started the channel, and before, in fact, I think. It's the Schecter Diamond Series PT Fastback. Well, it was a great guitar. It is a great guitar, although it's still unfinished because it had coil splits or whatever's and developed a fault, and I took it apart ages ago intending to fix it and hit a snag of one sort or other and just never finished the job. So it's on the table still. We'll do something with this. We'll probably do this on the TV channel, you know, because it's the reason it probably hasn't been done is because these kind of films don't work especially well on YouTube for a wider audience. So this is the sort of thing I do on the TV channel. There's the address. If you want to check that out and support the Guitaristas, please do. And we'll finish this at some point soon. I think I have to put the... So I don't think... Well, I don't know. We'll get around to it. Okay. We'll deal with this another time. This is my Schecter PT fastback. And I specifically remember this film where it was one of the first ones I made. And I got a copy. I was trying to do some Pete Townsend because obviously PT stands for Pete Townsend. I don't know if you know that. Anyway, I was trying to do some Townsend and I got a copyright strike. So I haven't earned a penny from it. There you go. This thing here, I mean, I'll be honest, I bought this because of the case. I saw it in a shop and I thought, this is the kind of case that I used to carry my guitar in 1976. It was, you know, I suppose it was an improvement on those old ones, but, you know, inside it was this. It's a Watkins rapier, you know. There you go, 33. Well, in need of, this is actually a reproduction scratch plate. Oh, pick God. I've got the original, but it was broken and the wiring and the pickups are a mess. So I thought that'd make a nice, what you call a resto mod, restoration modification thing. Anyway, well, it's like a 60s thing, isn't it? So a bit of fun, isn't it? But it's not for sale. Bullet Mustang. This was the first one I bought. Competition stripe. What a great little guitar. I raved about it in the review. It is genuinely a brilliant little guitar. I like this so much, I bought another. This one here in graffiti yellow, which I then set about upgrading. And I made this film where I put in, these are Seymour Duncan Fat Cat pickups, and I changed all the wiring. And I made a film about that, and it sounds brilliant. It's such a cool little guitar. In fact, I do like, this is again a Bullet. I like these so much that I bought another. This one here, which is the new version, the 2023 version, which they've renamed the Sonic Mustang. Now, I was going to claim that they changed a few things, but I haven't got a bog standard Bullet Mustang to compare it with. The ones that I've got, the other ones, they've got the competition stripe on, haven't they? This. And a belly carve. And these were made in Indonesia. This one, no belly carve, made in China. So I'm going to have to do my research and see if the bog standard version of the Bullet Mustang, i.e. not the competition stripe FSR limited edition versions, I'm going to need to find out. Well, I'm probably going to need to try and buy an older Bullet bog standard version to compare it with this. So that gives me a wonderful excuse to hang on to this one. Not that it's, these sort of guitars, they're so cheap, they're hardly worth, they're not, you can't sell a guitar like this. I mean, you might as well keep it. And actually, I took this home at Christmas. I'm filming this after Christmas. And I took this home and I was playing it over Christmas. Because as I said in my film that I made before Christmas, a great gift guitar because you can have it anywhere. And I had it knocking around the living room, and it didn't matter if I wasn't worried at all about marking it. I don't think you could mark it. I'm sure you can. I'm going to try. Okay, let's move on. So this is my original. It looks the same. This is a Duosonic 2, 1965 original, Fullerton made Fender Duosonic 2. It's in Dakota Red, by the way. This is Dakota Red. What a thing of beauty, eh? This was the first vintage guitar that I bought, actually. Entry-level vintage guitar, and these are still cheap enough. These are still cheaper than any custom shop guitar. You can buy one of these, and don't take any notice of anyone that says, "Oh, they don't play well." They do. They play brilliantly. I've made a film on the TV channel about this. If you want to hear it, check that out. This has got the original tuners, Cluson Deluxe. And they work absolutely fine, despite being, 1965. Blimey, that's 50, my brain's working, 59 years old, nearly. Something like that, isn't it? Hang on. Yeah, it is. Crikey. Nearly as old as me. It's bloody great, isn't it? Look, it's got checking all over it. And it sounds lovely, and it's got, these are a bit weird, but they do work. And it gives you an out of phase position if you put them in opposing directions, either that way or that way. These gives you a real nice quack. So that's a beauty. And in 1965, I guess I think Fender on USA guitars in general were more expensive, but this was the entry-level guitar that Fender made then, or one of them. Duosonic 2 was a version of, it's a hardtail Mustang, basically. People in the comments have said, "Oh no, that's a Mustang." It's not. It's a Duosonic 2. There it is. Oh, well, here's the question now. Will I sell it? I think if it's appreciated enough, I think I will. But I won't let it go for nothing. It's got a... Oh, I don't... Another vintage reissue from Epiphone. From this range, this of course is the Coronet, the single P90 wrap over tailbridge model. Lovely, 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 lovely guitar. I've had this. This was one of the first guitars that I bought to review on the channel. So I've had this at least 3 years now. And I'm not going to get rid of this. I'm not going to get rid of this. If I end up getting rid of the wheel shear, which I think I might, I'm definitely not going to get rid of this one. It's again, it's that it's not got enough money tied up in it to warrant that. You go, well, I know I'd rather keep this. So yeah, keeper. another Epiphone Les Paul. A 50s, yeah, sorry, Les Paul Standard 50s, this, with added Bigsby by my own fair hands. Now, there's the thumbnail for when I did that, if you're interested in doing that, because it's a fully reversible fix, this, because it's got what they call a Vibramate kit on it. So I made a film about that, and funnily enough, it's one of the least watched films on the channel for some reason. So I guess nobody's really interested in putting a Bigsby on their Les Paul. Well, I don't know why, because I think they're bloody cool. And yeah, fully reversible. Epiphone, had this ages, like it a lot, in spite of the fact that I don't get chance to play it. I've said that it was, you know, in some time ago, was one of my favourite Les Pauls. I preferred this to one of the Gibsons I had. I'm not sure it would stack up now, but there's the thing. I think I have to keep hold of this now, because I can sense another comparison coming up with my most recent Gibson Les Paul Standard and the Tokai Love Rock, yeah, and maybe the Eastman. I don't know. It's not fair, really, but he's comparing the Eastman to any of those, because the Eastman's so good. I said to someone recently, you know, comparing, that's like bringing a knife to a, sorry, no, that's not, get it right, Cole. That's like bringing a gun to a knife fight, the Eastman. Yeah. Anyway, this one, it looks like this is not going anywhere for a while at least. So that's that. Another SG. This is my most recent acquisition at this point in time. It's 61 Faded, they call this one, from Gibson. And I added the spoon whammy bar and the witch hat knobs, so it more closely resembled the Roxy SG, Frank Zappa, my SG hero. And this is great. And you saw the film, I got it at a fairly hefty discount just recently. So, yeah, it's one of them things that actually, it represents good value. But if you get, I mean, I think 25% off, wasn't it, this one? So immediately you think, oh, well, yeah, it's not only a great guitar, which it is, incidentally. There's, you know, you don't start nitpicking about I mean, I can feel the ridge there where the binding's been over scraped. You don't start nitpicking about stuff like that when you get a deal. It's only when you're paying what you consider to be over the odds for a guitar that you start going, you know. So yeah, I got a deal on this. I love this guitar. It could be my only one SG if that were ever going to happen in. So I love it. Sounds great. Check out the review on this. This is becoming a common theme of me saying, well, I'm keeping this. Doesn't appear to be that many that I've said I'm selling yet. Okay. When you look at this, oh, this is such a fabulous little guitar. It's an original 1963 Epiphone Olympic with the Kalamazoo headstock. There you go, 3+3 Kalamazoo headstock, because it was made in Kalamazoo in 1963. And that's what the headstock was like then. So yeah, I mean, it's not a new invention. They put the Kalamazoo headstock on Epiphones, you know, to start putting the prices up. This, well, I mean, it's a player's guitar, isn't it? Look, you know, you can see that it's a player's guitar. This snakebite, so it had a Maestro on it originally, didn't when I got it. Had some kind of badass on it when I got it, so I put a lightning bar on it, which was what it would have had, 1963. I changed the single coil pickup for This is a Seymour Duncan custom shop, Melody Maker style P90. That's what that is. And I changed the wiring. So I mucked around with it a little bit because it's a player's guitar. It's, you know, unless you restored it to original. I don't even know if the scratch plate is original. And they're repro tuners, but it didn't cost very much. It cost less than the current. It cost less than an Epiphone Les Paul Greenie, and it's 1963. So, you know, and it plays great. It's a lovely little guitar. I can't see myself selling this. There's just not enough value in it to justify that, because it's always going to be a player's guitar, and any potential buyer is going to look at that. It looks like it's cracked. It does look like it's got some kind of crack there, but unless it falls off, that doesn't bother me. But it would bother a buyer, wouldn't it? So I'm not going to have someone trying to knock me down on something that's worth less than a Les Paul Epiphone. So yeah, I'll probably just keep it. Well, there you go. Lots of the cheaper ones are quite easy decisions, because if they're nice, you know, or half decent, or the sort of guitar that I play, there's quite a theme going on here, wouldn't there, today? Single P90 jobs or specials, double P90. I like P90s basically. I like juniors and I like specials. It's my thing. But anyway, you know, if they're fairly low cost guitars to start with, and I like them, it's the sort of thing I'd play. It's an easy decision. I'll hang on to them because it's just not worth selling them. The difficult thing comes when I'm looking at the vintage guitars, and just, all right, I'm filming this bit after I've edited what you just saw, and I'm seriously having second thoughts about a couple of those. And in fact, the 69 SG Custom is still on reverb, or it was, and I'm definitely having second thoughts. I'm thinking I might take that down. I might keep that. So yeah, it's a tricky one. The vintage ones are the ones that you can't really replace, can you? And you know they're going to go up in value. So second thoughts. I don't regret, I think about this before I say it. Do I regret selling any of the ones that I've sold? Sold 12, shipped off, gone to their new owners. One of those is well, you can see it's not on the wall in the corner if you've been watching for a while. The Loic Lapap, the Steel G Kid, gone to a great home actually in the States. It's on its way. Fingers crossed it gets there. That's gone. Am I going to regret that? I don't think I'll regret it. It was a lovely thing to have owned, but let's moving it on. Let it free. Let it be loved by somebody else. And I've already bought something to replace it, which I'll share with you when it arrives, and it'll take that space on the wall. So, but yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I do get the buzz out of buying something new, and I've bought something that I particularly want, what I've had my eye on for a while, and you know, it wasn't as expensive as that, but that's the great thing. You can let that go. And I can buy several guitars with those funds for us to enjoy. So I don't think I've got any regrets so far. Tricky one a tricky one was definitely the Jazzmaster. That's gone. The old Japan Jazzmaster that I showed you last week. That was nice. But, you know, I didn't play it. I'd never played it. And I don't, you know, so, it's hard. The other thing is, I just wanted to say that having looking at all these things, I realise how lucky I am to own or have owned them in the first place. And that should be enough, really, shouldn't it? Because there's a lot of people that would give their right and left arm for just a couple of these guitars, or at least a kidney. Yeah, that makes more sense, doesn't it? Some people would give a kidney some of these guitars, wouldn't they? Probably have. So, yeah. All right, well, that was week 3. And I don't know how many of those. There's a couple on there I said I think I just said I was unsure about, didn't I? So I don't know. It's getting harder. Check out the Reverb shop. See what's on there. See if I've changed my mind about the 69 Custom yet. And come back next week and let's carry on. Let's get this done. We'll get this done next week. Part 4. That'll be all of my guitars as of now. And then we can put this to bed and move on. And start reviewing some new ones that I bought. Come back next week. Part 4. Same time, same place. I look forward to your company, as always. See you then, Hope. Cheers for now. Ta-ra.